When I was a kid, I wasn't the most aesthetically pleasing person. I didn't really care about the way I dressed. I mean, I still don't, but I was also very skinny, like a twig pretty much. Now, I've had periods of time when I was a kid where I was either a little on the chunky side or basically a twig. And due to this, I didn't have much self-confidence, was a very negative person, and a bit of a depressing individual to be around from time to time. My senior year of high school, I decided I would start trying to go to the gym to build muscle instead of just do cardio as I did. I started out really slow, and by this I mean I only really did machines and no free weights. I had pretty much zero knowledge on how to gain muscle, and as a result of that, I didn't see much progress, but I was addicted. I knew it was something that I wanted to keep pursuing. When I got sent off to the University at Albany my freshman year of college, I decided, you know what, let's turn it up a bit and start using free weights and going to the gym at least 5 times a week. And then this, I believe, was the real starting point of my lifting career, my freshman year in college. Now, my mission back then was not even close to the same mission that I have today. What I was really doing it for was to feel more confident, look more attractive, and get more attention from females. Although I don't find this motive to be a very healthy one, it was a good place to start, and the gains were finally starting to come in. I remember coming home for Thanksgiving break and looking in the mirror and being astonished at what I saw. You see, it's a lot harder to notice your gains when you're looking at yourself in the same mirror every single day. So when I came back to that mirror after months, the difference was huge. I had some muscle and I really wanted to keep growing. After that point, lifting was never a chore for me. I came into the gym happy to be there almost every single time. Now, unfortunately, I don't have too many pictures from my sophomore year when I actually transferred to UB, which is where I graduated from, and stayed in the dorms there. But this was a point in time when I started to get a little more knowledgeable about nutrition and tried not to just eat anything in sight. My nutrition was pretty poor at the start, but I still had those newbie gains that everybody gets at the start when they start taking weightlifting really seriously. But the problem, though, was that I was still eating tons of animal protein. I made sure pretty much every meal besides protein smoothies had a piece of animal protein in it. I was thoroughly convinced if I didn't have at least 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight a day, I would stop making gains as quickly. My sophomore year of college was one of the most transformative of my life. It's actually when I decided to start creating YouTube videos, and I got much more into spirituality and personal development and just really figuring out who I was at the time. And since this was a time of research, I started to do more excavating on the internet in relation to diet. I saw a lot of athletes were benefiting from a plant-based diet, and all of the health benefits seemed to make sense to me. So after a 2-day water fast that I did, I decided to try out being a vegetarian. And long story short, this only lasted about 2 weeks until I decided to transition to a vegan diet. And that is when my entire life started to change once again. I was getting stronger faster than ever before. I was leaner and bigger. I got sick way less frequently, had more energy, and was just happier in general. Although I will admit there was a point in time about a year ago where I was ridiculously shredded and definitely not eating enough. And as a result, I was really tired some days. So remember, to all of those watching this, maybe thinking about embarking on a vegan diet, be sure you're eating enough. But I had never looked better. Now, about 6 to 7 months ago, I decided it would be a good time to start bulking, considering the winter was rolling around and I had been at a very low body fat percentage for a while. I wanted to see more gains and kind of push myself more in the kitchen, which you know have to do sometimes as a vegan in order to bulk. And there was a lot of force feeding, a lot of meal prepping, but during this period, I had a lot of energy and was getting way stronger in the gym. 6 months later, and we are just about at present day, and this was the bulking results. I gained about 30 pounds of almost all muscle. The biggest and strongest I've ever been. A couple weeks ago, I started cutting, and I'm only down a few pounds, so there's not much you can see in the difference between the start of cutting and now, but this is what the physique is now looking like 2 years on a plant-based diet and 4 years weightlifting. If you enjoyed this video, or if this inspired you, please share this around with your friends. My hopes is that this will convince at least one person to start pursuing a healthy lifestyle and to try out a plant-based diet. Thank you all for watching until the end, and I will see you in the next video.